Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Champagne Wives podcast. I'm your host, Kelly.
And I'm your co-host, Nicole. Hey, Kels.
Hi, boo.
How are you?
Girl. Okay, let's get into it. Let's just jump into it.
Jesus,
Bottle
please.
popped. We having our drinks already because it's
a late start.
It's a late start. Thank you. That's the words I was looking for.
Start.
So, obviously, last week, our first episode of season 4 in the books. We came in, we had scratchy throats and just, a lot going on with our voices, right? So after that, all hell broke loose because we both took really sick, probably starting on Wednesday.
Monday.
Oh, Monday for you?
Man down.
No, we were here Monday.
I know. I mean, I
were
was
man down
fighting
Monday
for
night?
my life.
Oh, really? See, I started
camera.
fighting for my life on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I had the scratchy throat on Monday, but Wednesday I literally started fighting for my life.
Yeah. You know what? I thought I was fighting for my life on Monday, and then Wednesday came, and then I realized I had a business trip, so I flew with this sickness.
I don't know how you did it. I couldn't get out of bed on Wednesday. I literally had to work from my bed on Wednesday. Literally.
Did you work?
A little bit, because I was in and out of sleep, of consciousness.
It was bad. It was bad. Wednesday is when all the sneezing, the coughing, and all that happened, and then I realized I have to get on a plane to fly home.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to make it, and I almost didn't. Between the turbulence, the congestion, the rough landing.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I couldn't even imagine.
We made it.
I was out from Wednesday to Friday. And then Saturday I started to feel a little bit better. And here I am today, but it was rough. So,
and we say it wasn't COVID, so it wasn't COVID.
We say it wasn't COVID. I was scared to take a test. I'm always scared to take a COVID test. I don't want to know.
And we always get COVID at the same time.
Right. Okay. So I don't know. Nobody else got sick. No one, thankfully. Thank God. So it was just us two.
Yeah.
But go figure. We always get sick together.
Because we're always together.
Always. Like, we have been getting sick together for like a year straight.
We have been. Yeah, we have been. But yes, I did travel last week and was in New York City, and was super fun to visit one of the companies that that my company owns. And it's very much like the Devil Wears Prada. I'm not going to go into detail about the company, but it's very much like the Devil Wears Prada. It's fabrics, it's high-end fabrics, and got to kind of walk the room, walk the showroom, if you will, and hope to go back soon. And New York has changed so much since the last time that I've been there.
Has it? I haven't been in a while.
It's changed a lot. And when I came home, it's so much more gentrified. So, like,
you didn't see those videos of rats in people's apartments?
We were looking for rats, child. The rats are here in Houston too. Let's be clear. But we were looking, and it was trash day. Well, it was recycle day, so I thought maybe we would see rats, but we didn't see any. But it's a lot different of a city, which was kind of a bummer. But nevertheless, I was so thrilled to come back home. Yeah. And I realized
especially being that you were sick.
Yeah, after 12 years of being away from the Northeast, I realized, like, I'm officially a Southerner.
You're a Houston girl?
I'm a Houston girl,
for real.
So yeah, glad to be back.
I would have thought that about you anyway, because every time we're going out and we're passing like over downtown, her phone is out and she's like recording the skyline, and I'm like, bitch, you've seen this 100 times over now. Like, why every time we pass through downtown you have to record us going through downtown?
One thing's for certain, two things for sure. I'm going to catch a sunrise, a sunset, and a skyline.
Oh, you will catch a skyline. I haven't seen the other two yet, but definitely a skyline. You got that.
You've caught sunrises with me. What you talk about?
I have not seen you record a sunrise.
Oh.
No, I have not. I've only
Dallas. You were sleeping, though.
I was very sleepy in Dallas. We move on.
We digress.
So we will be remiss to not mention that is Black History Month. And so happy Black History Month to you, sis.
Cheers.
Cheers to Black History Month. And I just feel like that's so fitting because our history is literally under attack at the moment.
How sweet.
In Florida, with the governor trying to remove CRT and like African American studies from the school books,
the curriculums,
not only in elementary and high school, but also college courses as well. So
in public institutions, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
it's this 2024 election is going to be very interesting because, as you know, the governor is allegedly going to make a run for the presidency in 2024, and so. And we know Trump is already planning to run again.
Yeah.
So if you have Trump on the ticket, DeSantis on the ticket, I think Nikki Haley is discussing about being on the ticket. It'll be very interesting on the Republican side. And I know it's very early and the ticket will get longer and longer. But if he's thinking about doing that in Florida, like what could that mean nationally?
That's disgusting. I truly feel like it's disgusting, and I won't get into it because I have not prepared my Cliff Notes.
No,
this is really just like
this is off the cuff.
Like off the cuff.
Right.
Like let's pay our respects for Black History Month, even though I am doing nothing to commemorate the month.
Well, you're going to send your daughter to school with some Black History Month like wear, because I know she has like some sweatshirts and stuff like
Girl, I haven't even thought that far. Like I have Black History Month projects that I need to work on, and it's just I'm so perplexed on how to get these projects completed because I don't have time.
Same. And why are we saying it like we're confused on how we're going to get our children's projects done?
Because we have to do it. Who gonna do it?
If not you, then who, bitch?
Who else is gonna do this project, child? Not my child. Like, so anyway, I digress. But happy Black History Month, sis.
History Month, babe.
And then also what's new is Beyonce released her Renaissance World Tour dates. And so that has had everybody in the tizzy for the entire week. That
see how
from last week to this week,
I'm like so physically uncomfortable.
That
about
has
this.
gotten everybody in a tizzy, and we're just waiting at this point for her to release, or for them, who is them? I don't know. Ticketmaster, her team, I don't know, to release pre-sale tickets.
Yeah,
and so we have discussed over time and time over how much we're willing to pay for these tickets.
The planning for this concert started basically in August of 2022.
Last year.
No, more like late July when Renaissance dropped.
Okay.
And we said, ain't no way we're not going to find
Was
ourselves.
it July? Was it August? Literally after my birthday, it was stamped.
Yes.
Okay.
After your birthday, we said, we're going. Like, there's no way that show is happening and we're not going to be in the building.
Yes.
And then we started hearing rumors, right? Because we saw the auction, how like someone paid, I don't know, close to hundreds of thousands of dollars to get tickets. And then we heard that tickets might start at $1,000 and you were like, get your coin ready.
Yes.
I've been saying,
get your coin ready since August.
Pretty much since August.
Yes.
And last time Beyonce came here, I paid $152.
Where were you sitting, child?
I was sitting in the
100s. How?
100s.
Well, I believe it's going to be the same. I think everybody is making this out to be a bigger deal than what it's actually going to be. I truly feel like the tickets are going to be reasonably priced.
That's my hope, because today I, in between meetings, went to go just look to see what the status of tickets were. And I saw tickets in the 600 level of NRG for $903. The lowest price point was $903, and the 600 level is like the Vertigo section.
Yeah.
And that was the lowest, $903. Cheapest was $13,000. And that was obviously like on stage picking up Beyonce's sweat, I would imagine. So
I'm in denial.
If we're talking base level Vertigo section is $903.
I mean, listeners, I want y'all to tell us how much is too much to spend on these tickets on a concert that we have literally been talking about and telling each other to prepare for almost a year at this point. And so I'm ready. I am on the city pre-sale list. And so
we,
because I'm getting all of the tickets for the whole group. Once I get that code to see, what's available now, because I think the Beehive have had their opportunity to kind of go.
They got first dibs.
Yeah, get their tickets.
They left something.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll see. We'll have an update on that. But that's pretty much been my week in a nutshell. And I know a lot of it has is transferable. Same for you, same for me. But is there anything different that maybe I missed that happened during your week that you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
No. I just fighting for my life this last week, for real. Like fighting for my life.
Like, I have nothing else to say.
I have nothing else to add.
Nothing.
I want to sit here and tell you that I had a glamorous week. No.
No.
I was on soccer fields, smelling like the outdoors.
Oh, you did have a busy weekend too.
I was on like 4 or 5 different soccer games.
But I tried to spend this weekend with my kids as well because I was so out of it. And truth be told, like, I needed the rest. Like, when I started to feel better, I got like a burst of energy. And so I was just like, okay, let me now take my kids out, spend some quality time with them. So I did that with them over the weekend as well. Like, took them out and we had some fun.
I always say, listen to your body. Your body will tell you when it's time.
Yeah.
And if you don't pass out due to exhaustion, your body's going to give you a cold, right? So I feel like our bodies gave us colds, forced some needed rest.
Yeah.
Here we are. We're back.
We're back.
Second episode of season 4. And I really just liked kind of seeing this. So I'm going to reset it.
I can't believe an hour went by. Is that really? It's like really
no,
real?
No,
oh, okay.
It's not an hour.
It's not? Okay.
Maybe like 10 minutes. But
no. I mean, that's neither here nor there. Let's just...
We were very distracted
Very
today.
distracted. Like, neither here nor there, child.
So what are we talking about?
Are you telling me, child?
Oh, okay. Manifestation and visualization. We've
Let's
talked
get into it.
we've talked about the power of manifestation. When we started this entire journey in December of 2021, we sat down in your kitchen at your island and we made a list and we said, okay, here are the things, the non-negotiables. And I think we've done a really good job of like sticking to that.
Yeah.
And then we, throughout the season, a lot of the things that we put on this list that we wanted to manifest throughout this journey, I won't say this season, have actually come to fruition. We said we wanted to monetize the podcast, and we've been able to do that.
Grow our followers.
Grow followership. Yep. We've been able to do that. So we haven't like gone and taken inventory and seen like what's still left, but manifestation works. And thought it would be good for us to just chat about how it has impacted both of us personally, professionally within this space. I have some opinions on manifestation and visualization, and I even want to talk about, like, can you have one without the other? Like, can you visualize without manifesting?
Yeah.
Can you manifest without visualizing?
Yeah.
Thought we could talk about it.
Well, that's a good point because I have a definition. And y'all know me. I like a good Webster's.
Merriam-Webster definition.
A good Webster's.
What did the good sis
definition?
Miriam say?
Yeah, just say.
She say.
Okay, so manifestation. The word manifestation means to create something or turn something from an idea into a reality. So in psychology, manifestation generally means using our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to bring something to our physical reality.
Yeah.
And that is such a perfect definition to me because I feel like if you can conceive it, then you can receive it, right? You can achieve it. And so I do.
I love that. If you can conceive it.
If you can conceive it, you can achieve it. Like, then receive it. I mean, and even in the Bible, it says life and death is in the power of the tongue. And I know that a lot of times in certain situations, it may seem like, things are not working, or it just seems like the hill just seems so high to climb to get over to the other side. Yeah. But I think that God puts visions in people's minds for a reason, right? Like, I don't take my thoughts and my visions for the things that I want in my life lightly. Like, that doesn't happen. My dreams or my goals are not yours, are not the next person's or the other person's. You know what I mean? So I do feel that, they're there for a reason. Yeah. But I think it takes work. But I think that if you can take that visualization, the manifestation, you have a thought, an idea of what you want, and then put the work behind achieving it, then you can bring those things to fruition. And not to say that it's easy, because we know that it's definitely not easy, child. We have worked our asses off, exhausted,
ragged,
tired, sick.
Just the list goes on.
All the things that we just talked about. Right? Mm-hmm. But I do feel that there's such a power in manifestation and really working towards your ideas and your visions and your goals. And, the podcast is just one piece of it that it has kind of visualized, right? Come to life. But I mean, in our personal lives, right? I mean, obviously things don't always go as we plan.
Right.
However, I do feel like you can set the stage for how you want your life to go.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know what I mean? We talked about it, on the last episode a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can control that. I feel like you can. I do feel like a lot of things is destiny. But again, back to spirituality, I still feel like God puts these ideas, these notions, these thoughts in our minds for a reason. And it's up to us to act on it.
I couldn't agree more. And I was on the TikTok today, and there's this new food critic. His name is Keith Lee. If you're not following him, follow him, but follow us first. ChampagneWives_podcast on TikTok. But
plug. That's the plug.
Right, that's the plug. But it was interesting because he was saying something about, how it was a testimony, and he was saying that there are so many things that have happened in his life in the last 3 or 4 months that he has prayed for. And he's had strife to get to it, but he's finally getting to a place where he's realizing it. And he's like, it wasn't given to me.
Yeah.
But I never lost faith. I believed.
Yeah.
And I was tested. And the reality was I was tested by God to see if I was standing firm in what I wanted, in my belief, but then also in my want.
Yeah.
So I do believe that, yes, manifestation, prayer, all of that, visualization is so important, and there's such a significant connection between all three of those. But it's not going to come easy.
No.
You're going to be tested. And if you want something very badly, it's going to come with work. It's going to come with challenge. But it's about trusting.
Yeah.
Right. That what it is that you want will be provided for you as long as you have your faith.
Have your faith. I was just about to say it. Have your faith. And it's just I'm thinking of that image that we see online where it's just a person who's kind of in the desert and walking towards a goal, right? Let's say it's a rock, but then they get to a certain point and then they give up. But then their prize was just right on the other side of the finish line if they had just gone a little bit further. Yeah. Exactly. And I just think that, to your point, you will be tested, right? It doesn't come easy, but I think that you have to have the foresight and the fortitude to keep going when I think that's the secret to success too, right? I think when you talk to even the people that we've talked to who are podcasters who have, amassed the following, and success in the space. And, we ask for advice, and the advice that we always receive is just keep going. Yeah. Don't stop.
Stick with it.
Yeah, stick with it. And I feel like that holds true to multifacets in life.
And be consistent.
Yeah.
Right. And so, let's go back to the whole visualization versus manifestation. Is there a difference?
I think it's a part of it.
Okay.
I think it's a part of manifestation, right? So manifestation is having a thought or an idea and working towards that thought or idea until it becomes a reality, right? I think visualization is seeing that. So for example, remember we took a ride through a very nice neighborhood here in Houston that I told you I want to live in. This is where my next house will be.
You stop short of picking out the house, child.
The lot, child, because I really want to build a custom house. I want a custom.
That was a great moment.
So I think that you have to put yourself in the places and the spaces that you want to be to see it. Because like I said, in the car, I want to know about the area, right? I want to know what's going on. I want to see the houses. I want to see the country club. I want to see the streets. I want to familiarize.
We saw all of that.
We saw all of it, all of it. I want to familiarize
waving to
myself.
Security as we were driving through the neighborhood. We lived there. You lived there.
Oh, they didn't know. They had no clue. We looked like we belonged.
Sure did.
That's all that matters. Right. That's all that matters. They waved back.
They did.
So, but yeah, like, so I think that's a piece of it, right? So yes, my idea and my thought is to be in this particular neighborhood. I am working towards that, right? I'm setting up my plans to be able to achieve that. And now I'm seeing that. I can see myself there, right? So, and I'm familiar. And I think familiarity helps break maybe some of the fear of going into spaces that you're not, used to, or seems that it's like too much for you, right? So this neighborhood is just
out of reach.
Exactly. I'm there, like you said, I was waving at the security guard. He was waving back. We drove up to the country club and turned around.
Yeah, right. Like, we know where we're going, trust us. So I think that manifestation absolutely is the thought, right? And I think visualization is taking that thought, like you said, and making it a thing so that you can familiarize yourself with it, touch it, feel it, smell it. And then I think the next step, once you know what that juice or how that berry tastes, right? It's about doing the work. It's about being consistent, and then having faith.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like there's like a 4-step process, and that's my opinion. And I know there's probably more of a science behind it than anything. But someone had told me, when you're visualizing, like, that's probably the most important step.
Oh, like, really?
Yes. Like, you can think it, you write it down. Everyone's like, get it on paper.
Yeah.
Once
you
it's on paper,
see it. It has to be tangible.
But it's taking it a step further. It's like, you got to actually like put yourself in there. So if you know you want a G-Wagon, or you know that like you want to live in a wonderful neighborhood, you have to do what we did, drive through the neighborhood. You got to go test drive that G-Wagon. You got to, if you want to get a pool, you need to, with the infinity whatever situation, like, go to a hotel that has a whole infinity pool, right? Spend the day, get a day pass, do it, but go and immerse yourself in that, in that space, so you can know how that feeling, that that experience or that product gives you, and you'll be chasing that, and that will really fuel your drive, more than just writing it down and putting it on paper. So in 2023, because as we talked about, the coin is not coining the way that it was, because we went too hard.
We went hard in 2022.
But we're going to do a lot of visualization. We're going to do a lot of visualization so that in 2024 we could be right where we were. And, just be ready. Be ready, and be prayerful and have faith, and just continue to believe that, like, hard work, sweat, equity, dedication, and commitment will yield the desired results. So I thought that was interesting. And
I also think that too, it can go the opposite direction, right? So if your manifestations or your thoughts are negative, right? Or you feel like, there's something that you can't achieve, or something is like not attainable, or you're not supposed to be there.
Right.
Then that can change the trajectory of your life as well. So I always, like I said, a few minutes ago, like, life and death is literally in the power of the tongue. And I'm not going to say like I don't have negative thoughts or like have self-doubt at certain points, but I have to train myself to, okay, what am I going to do with it, right? Like, am I going to sit in it? Am I going to believe it? Or am I going to push it down, right? And I choose to not give those negative thoughts energy. And I think visualization helps with that, because yes, I can manifest, I can have this thought that I want to live in this particular neighborhood, but that could be like, oh my God, like, will they ever accept me? How will I make it there? How will I, fit in with the community, right? But going and actually being in the community and learning the community and learning my way around and seeing the neighbors and saying hi to
prepares you.
Yeah, it definitely prepares you, and it helps you to kind of calm down those negative thoughts when, or if they start to creep up.
Self-doubt is a real fucker.
Oh,
sorry,
some
for the
motherfucker,
curse, right? But like, self-doubt can cripple you, and so that's why that I say the visualization part is probably the most important. We talk about it in the professional setting, but we can talk about it in the personal setting too. Imposter syndrome. Do I belong here? Should I be driving this? Like, what will people think if I roll into, the neighborhood that I came from, with said car, right, or vehicle? Will I be viewed as XYZ ABC, or will people say, wow, fantastic, congratulations? you never know. So that's why I do think that the visualization part is so important. I will tell you, I'm not the best manifester. She always tells me to think big, bitch.
Think big, bitch. That's like the best TikTok ever. I send her that TikTok all the time.
Think
and she's
big,
like,
bitch.
Let's do this. I'm like, think big, bitch. Here you go.
You know, and I had to think as we were preparing for this, I had to think like, what's at the root of that? And I don't know. I mean, that's something I'm taking to therapy because
you're taking it to the couch.
I'm taking it to the couch, metaphorically, right? Because I don't know if like my beginnings were so humble that like I have self-limiting factors or doubts that prevent me from being able to think bigger than where I am. And this is just, a moment of transparency right now. But I do think that knowing that like I came from nothing has me very thankful for where I am.
Yeah.
But I got to be careful that gratitude doesn't turn into complacency. And I think I might be on the cusp of that right now. And
being complacent?
Well, just like being complacent with where I am right now, and realizing like this is a fantastic life that you have.
Yeah,
like,
it's amazing.
It is, and I'm very grateful for it. But can you over-index on the gratitude to the point where like you just become okay with where you are and stop striving for more?
It depends on what your goals are, and I know my goals. I know your goals. I personally do not see that. Now, a couple of years ago, when we first met. What's funny?
When we first met. Please continue.
I'm just saying, like, I've seen a lot of growth in you from like the first time that we met, right? Like, you're an entrepreneur, and as you were doing well then, right? You had your career, things were going well. But I think in terms of just professional and personal growth, I have seen that growth in you since a couple years ago. And I think it all depends on what a person's goals are. And I'm not saying that everybody should have lofty goals. Yeah. Like, that's not, somebody got to, girl, be on the front lines, child. I am not saying that everybody has to have the same goals. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever your goals are, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you should be able to have the fortitude to work towards them. And for you personally, I just wanted to tell that personal story. Like, I have seen the growth in you. And I think gratitude is great. And it doesn't matter where I go in life. I am going to always have that gratitude.
Yeah.
Right. But that does not stop me from wanting more.
Yeah.
As my life goes on. And I think that certain circumstances or things that happens in my life personally kind of shifts my goals to, wanting more and the things that I want to do. A lot of my close family and friends know I had a health scare a couple of years ago. Yeah. And, that shifted my goals. And it's just like, well, wow, it was such an eye-opening experience for me. And it's just like, how are you living your life to the fullest? What are some things that, you have always desired to do that you have just put on the back burner because you're comfortable with your lifestyle and where you are? And I think really that led me to this podcast because, again, I've said it before in like the past seasons, like I never would have thought that I would be sitting here on a podcast, like bearing it all, speaking.
How far we've come.
Like, speaking my truth to, like, for listeners to, obviously we want them to take the good, but also to be able to critique. I'm a private person. That's no secret. I've said it time and time again. But I just think that sometimes certain things in your life kind of propel you to set different goals and work towards those. So gratitude is great, yes, but I don't think that you've been complacent from my personal experience with knowing you these last couple of years.
Well, I thank you for saying that.
You're very welcome.
And I would also say that I credit a lot of that to you. And I was thinking about this too in preparation for this episode, that like you have been a friend who has forced me and challenged me in a very safe way to be able to think bigger. And to have loftier goals for myself.
Thank you, bitch. I'll take those flowers.
Of course. And, my PSA is, find you a friend that like, that pushes you in that way, right? Because I know it's always good to like say, yeah, I came up with my day ones and this, that, and the third, but like sometimes coming up with your day ones, you got to be careful because you guys have similar mentalities.
Yeah.
And it's important to bring people into your circle as you grow and evolve, and the only thing that's constant in life is change.
It's change. Yeah.
So bring people into your life, and I know I had to kick and claw my way in, but like bring people into your life that like that kind of help elevate your thinking, right, in that space. So the idea to even manifest our list came from Kels, right? You were like, okay, so she opened up this notebook with like 3 beautiful Black women on it. It was a spiral notebook.
My mom bought me that notebook. Thank you, Mommy.
It was a spiral notebook and it was in perfect condition. And now like half of the
girl, the front of it has fallen off. I had to like staple the front of it, the cover. It's on life support.
So, it was your idea, and my plans, moving forward are to just be a lot more intentional with, my manifestations, not just for, this podcast, but for myself personally,
yes.
like, and where I want the back 9 of my life, right, to go, and how I want them to, be manifest, and how they are realized, and what am I doing in this world, who am I doing that with, right?
Yeah.
And what impact am I making, and what am I moving in my purpose? So
yeah.
All
You've
of that
been very intentional about that,
bitch. We're not playing.
You're not.
We are not playing with like the purpose-driven life.
Yeah. I love that for you.
We are not playing. And listen, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And I fall down. I mean, I fall big, right? And I piss people off, fully aware of it.
Yeah.
But it's the recovery, and it's how you choose to move when you realize, either through self-realization or even through, a good friend bringing it to your attention. It's what you do on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So we're not playing anymore.
I feel like we all fall down. We fall down as a friend. We fall down as an employee. We fall down as an employer. We fall down as a mom, as a wife, and all those things. Like, Jesus. We fuck up. Like, there's some fuck up to be had. But I don't know how many times I've called Nicole and be like, girl, I'm such a bad mom. I just started like crying. And she's just like, okay, babe, let's unpack it. Maybe you should do this. And I'm like, oh my God. But it's just, you just don't stay there. You can't. You can't stay there.
You can't. And I'm one who will stay there. And I realized that back part of 2022. Like, I have a tendency to just sit, like go into my room and go 0 dark.
Girl,
30.
Dark. Dark.
0 dark 30. I retreat, I withdraw, I internalize, and then I resurface.
Right.
I'm like that. I don't know if you've seen that meme, that raccoon that comes out of the dumpster. Like,
I am back.
But I am trying so hard to not have that be the case.
Yeah.
And like, you can absolutely feel bad about, fucking not bringing cupcakes for your kid on their birthday to school.
Yeah.
Or not knowing that there was a test, and the test had like a weighting of like 40%, and your kid got a C.
Oh, that's happened to you too?
Yeah, it happens.
Oh my God. I thought I was the only one. See, that's why it's good to talk through this stuff.
Yes, it happens. And you can't assume the shame.
Girl, I have assumed it. I'm like, damn, how did I know my child got a test?
You can't assume the shame.
Damn.
Because first of all,
you cannot assume the shame. I love that. You can't.
Like, what good is it going to do?
Yeah.
You're here as a parent, and you have to be there for your child. A, and teach them the lesson,
Yeah.
right? Or even be there to support them in the lesson.
Yeah.
Because you might be both learning it at the same time.
Correct.
Right? So it happens to the best of us in motherhood. It happens to the best of us at work. I mean, my performance review was due last Monday.
Yeah.
And the way my boss sent me a text and was like, you need to send me your performance review on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm like, it happens. You get caught up with shit.
You get caught up, yeah.
So you're trying to juggle it all, and you can't keep all the balls in the air.
Yeah.
Something's going to drop. You just got to hope that it's not a glass ball and it's a rubber ball.
Oh, you would hope it's not a glass ball and it's a rubber ball.
Girl, we're not doing this today. You're acting like I'm Confucius.
I'm just you are. You dropping some fucking meme. No, some meme-worthy sayings, child.
This is what
I love
happens
that.
if you scroll TikTok at 3 a.m. with
Wait, like Confucius, Nicole Confucius. I love it.
So, yeah.
I love it. But anyway.
So manifestation, visualization,
Yes.
It's important. We got to do it. The visualization part, I think, is the most important. That's a lie.
I didn't come here thinking that, but now that you say it, I can see that.
But the faith part is the most important, right?
Yeah.
Having the faith. But you get the faith when you actually know what it is that you're truly attached to from a visualization standpoint, is what I would say.
Well, I will cheers to that.
Cheers to that. This
Beautifully
mic
stated,
might be
babe.
Challenge, but thank you.
Cheers, babe.
Cheers. Okay, so we're bringing back what's poppin'.
Sip, sip.
Oh yeah, we're bringing back what's poppin', and I'm actually
We're going to do what's popping for y'all.
yeah, because it feels
Are you?
weird to not have it. And I know, like, we started like in season 2 with what's poppin'.
We did.
So let's bring it
and
back.
we love what's popping.
We really do.
I mean, it's an opportunity to be silly and talk about just.
Right.
I mean, we can talk about serious things sometimes, but it's just an opportunity to just kind of talk about pop culture and what's going on, and give you guys like insight onto like how we really speak like behind the scenes when we're talking about some of these, because we talk about these things
We
that's
do.
happening.
We're just like not talking about
We're just not talking about it in public, child.
Right, yeah, right.
Okay. You want to go first?
Okay, sure. So my what's poppin' isn't necessarily like a salacious anything, but like we don't like to date stamp a time stamp, but I feel like we've done it enough already when we were talking about Beyonce. But
Yeah.
It's Grammy weekend. It was Grammy weekend.
Take about what's popping.
Oh, is it? Oh no! You know I love music. It's literally
One was popping.
okay, but it's okay.
Go ahead. It's a good one.
It's gonna be one.
Yes,
but we're probably
that's
gonna talk
fine.
about different things.
Yeah, okay, good. Let's get into it.
So I'm gonna talk about the Rock Nation brunch.
Oh, okay.
Because the
Let's
Rock
talk about
Nation
that.
brunch is, if you don't know, let me get you familiar, but it's a brunch that Jay-Z obviously is affiliated with the Rock Nation, and they do a brunch every year at the Grammys.
Yes.
If you go back in time, like you will see like crazy pictures of like Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion there. You'll see
Like all the celebrities,
the who's
yeah.
who
Yeah.
are at this brunch, and if you're signed to the label, you're absolutely there.
Beyonce makes an appearance.
and she made her appearance,
Yeah.
and I don't even know how she walked in those Louboutins.
Oh, my
She was like
God.
floating on a cloud.
Had to be, but she had help. Like I saw her
did have a
publicist like holding
handler.
her hand, like had to.
And Julius was close by.
Yeah, that too. But wait, did you see Kelly Rowland getting dressed and the person that was lotioning her legs? So Kelly Rowland put up like a freaking reel of herself getting
I'm
dressed.
gonna visualize that.
Visualize that. And somebody like I was like, bitch, I need that because
I need
the
a leg
way
lotioner.
yes, the way I'm like trying to like strategize how to get oil on my body without getting it on my dress or my clothes.
Yes, these are first world problems, but they're problems nonetheless.
There's a solution.
a whole person who will rub oil on your body.
I saw that. I was like, yes. Okay, anyway.
Because the way these feet are not feeling as moisturized as they should. I could have used one today. But this Rock Nation brunch, and even though Beyonce was the star of the show with her 9 Grammy nominations. And
Let me get my hanky. Go ahead.
It's hanky season here in Houston. It was 72 degrees yesterday, and now it's cold again. So the real star of the show was Lil Uzi.
Who?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Oh.
First of all, his silk press. His silk press was everything. If you have not seen him in this blush suit with a silk, it almost looked like a Komodo dragon or an iguana kind of detail coming out from this.
I saw the picture of the top of his head.
The silk press, first of all, with these shoes, I mean, he was a whole vibe. And every single like clip that I saw of him, I was like, how do I get to that party? How do I get to that energy?
Let's manifest that. We're manifesting that. Rock Nation brunch
2025.
We're there.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
We manifested.
Look at that. The power of the tongue.
Exactly.
So I just thought that brunch was everything. Winnie Harlow was there. Tiana Taylor was there. Beyonce was there, obviously. If the who's who. If you were somebody in the industry, you were there. And if there's any brunch, fuck a Sunday fun day. If there's any brunch, that's the one.
That's the one to go. That's the one that you want to be at. That's the one we want to go to.
So that's my what's poppin'.
Okay, so I did see. I love looking at the pictures from that week. Like
it was like
that brunch, not the weekend, but like that brunch.
Everybody looked like they were having a great time.
I love looking at the. Yes, it just looks like a good ass fucking time. And you know, if you know anything about us, like you know that we like to have a good time, like an illustrious time. And so that brunch looks like a fucking good time.
Yes.
So I'm not deviating too far off topic here, but my what's poppin' is Beyonce and the Grammys, and she is I guess she just broke a record for having the most Grammy wins of all time with 32. And so I just think that is so, first of all, I don't watch the Grammys. I did not watch the Grammys. I feel like back in the day, I used to be so like stuck on like the Grammys, the BET Awards.
Yes.
Like I remember back in college, like BET Awards, like girl, I was in front of the TV. Like it was the best. I remember like Beyonce performing there and just like being all into it. But I just think that is such amazing. And talking about Black History Month, I just, she came on Instagram and left a message. So like this was a big night because she wrote it. Like it wasn't her publicist. Like she actually wrote it. So it was a big thing because, she addressed her fans. But I just think it's such, I don't know, an amazing accomplishment for a Black woman. And that goes back to like, what's popping. And I went back and forth on whether or not I would bring this up. But we had a what's popping like months ago, maybe last year.
Okay, which one?
The Journey was here. We were talking about Michael Jackson and Beyonce.
Oh, yeah.
And I said Beyonce while everybody else was saying Michael Jackson. But I ain't going to bring that up again. But I'm just saying.
But you standing 10 toes down and yo Beyonce.
I'm standing 10 toes out. And I'm not even a part of the Beehive. I just respect her so much.
Because if you were, we would have got our tickets today.
Exactly.
Job.
I'm not. I'm on the city. Like, I'm on the city card pre-sale. I'm not a part of the Beehive. That's a good point, Mitch. That's a very good point. I am not a part of the Beehive. But I just have so much respect for her. Again, and her hard work. Yeah. And then you talk about manifestation and visualization and faith. Yep. And the first thing she got when she accepted her award was she said what? I thank God. I thank God for protecting me. And that is real. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. And I just feel like she has worked so hard to get, and she's such a big artist. I mean, she was a big artist years ago where she does not even have to work. Right. I feel like as hard as she is working, but she still does it. Yeah. And I just have so much respect for her, and I salute her. I think she's great. I think she's wonderful. I think she is just, I don't know, like the baddest. And that's why I'm going to this concert. And I have my dollar, my amount in mind on how much I'm going to spend for this concert. But that's why I am like really looking forward to this show. And so that's my what's popping. I just wanted to like give a shout out to Queen Bee. We love you. An amazing talent. Just she works so hard. Just the work ethic is second to none.
Immeasurable.
Yeah, it's immeasurable. Like it's something to aspire to. I mean, in your own field, I can't sing, I can dance, but I can't sing. But I can have that level of dedication and work ethic in what it is that I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's
even just, a smidget.
A smidget, girl, not like yes, a smidget because she works her ass off.
Outwork Beyonce, yes, literally outwork Beyonce.
That should be the meme, like outwork Beyonce.
Well, and think about, she had the whole Homecoming documentary, and you got a really great behind the scenes look at like how much preparation she did for that Coachella performance.
Yeah.
That, like, we are still standing over.
Yeah.
And what she did from a diet perspective, like the hours of rehearsal and practice. And like everyone's ready to go home and Beyonce's like, it's not right.
It's not time. It's not time. Yeah. It's not.
And like you could be literally dancing for 36 hours straight.
Yeah.
And she's a perfectionist like most Virgos we know.
But that's something we have in common. Not to that level, child. Look.
But outwork Beyonce.
Yes, it's not possible, but child, we could try. We could try our level best. Yeah. And just one more thing, her humbleness. I think this is why she's been able to have the longevity in her career that she has had, because she gives just due. Right, she gives credit when credit is due, where credit is due, and I appreciate that about her. And I know the different genres. I know she's tapped a lot into like New Orleans culture, New Orleans music, New Orleans sound. You know, now the LGBTQ community with her Renaissance album, and she always pays homage. She always pays homage to the producers and the writers and the people that she works with on her albums, and I just love that about her, like the humbleness. I think that's another Virgo trait, but I digress.
And so she was nominated for 9 Grammys.
Yeah.
I don't know how many exactly.
I think she said she took home 3.
Okay, and I know she got like R&B record with Cuff It, but Lizzo, also from Houston, got I don't know, it wasn't record of the year, but she got like, I think maybe it was record of the year. It was record of the year, not album of the year. And she gave credit, and Beyonce was in that category, and she gave credit to Beyonce, and Beyonce was just like, no. Like Beyonce was like, it's a win. It's a win for Houston. It's a win for Black women. It's a win. A win is a win.
Yeah.
And I think that really does speak to just the humility that she does have.
Yeah, exactly.
And Beyonce's been around for a long time, and Lizzo has probably sung and danced and played her flute to many a Beyonce song, Destiny's Child songs. And so I just love how Beyonce rallies around Black women and women in general.
And women in general, yeah.
So I'm glad we're ending on Beyonce.
Yes. So cheers to Beyonce.
Empty glass.
And let's pour it up real quick.
We can't do this.
Yeah, just.
So while we're pouring and we're getting ready to toast, just want to remind y'all where you can find us. Thank you, love. Instagram, Champagne Wives Podcast. We made it over 9,000. Last time we were here, we were at 850 and change, and we made it over 9,000. So thank you. Instagram, Champagne Wives Podcast. You can DM us if you have questions, episode ideas, even though we already have the entire season baked. We're always open to hearing about ideas for season 5.
Questions.
And questions, yeah. You can email us at champagnewivespodcast@gmail.com. We're on TikTok at champagnewives_podcast. We're going to get better at TikTok. That's a challenging platform, but we're going to get better.
Yeah.
And then, we're on Facebook at Champagne Wives Podcast. So we're going to toast to Black History.
We're going to toast to Black History.
We're going to toast to manifesting.
And visualizing. And also Beyonce. So we'll have an update for y'all next week on whether or not we were able to get these tickets, child.
Oh, my God. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
This has me stressed. High levels of anxiety. Anywho.
Don't worry.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys next week. Same time, same place.
You know where to find us. Bye.